Good evening. We'll call the meeting to order and stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please.
Councillor Jones. Councillor Geisler.
Here.
Councillor Jelly.
Here.
Councillor LeBlanc.
Here.
Mayor Boucher.
Here. Announcements. Do any councillors have anything they would like to say this evening? I just noticed one thing. If maybe we could get a look at our American flag back here. It's kind of tilted to one side, starting to look a little sad. Tonight we have a public hearing on a resolution ordering a improvement district number 544 for the Stebner Park. We will start with the public hearing, and we do have two related resolutions after. During the public hearing, we ask that anyone limit their time to 3 minutes per person. Mr. Mulder.
So I'm going to ask City Engineer David Wolf to kind of briefly explain the proposed improvements to the Stebner Park.
Yeah, thank you, John. Mayor and Council. So this is a project in Stebner Park. Currently, there's a driveway that services the park and the parking lots. Under this proposal, we are recommending that we change the driveway into a roadway and dedicate right-of-way and make public improvements to the utilities. And the reason for that is the city is working with a developer on field number 4, and we'd likely be creating a lot, a parcel of record. And in order to do that, we have to bring road and utilities and create right-of-way and create frontage for that parcel. And this also gives us the ability to assess some portion of this project in the future to that property or the adjoining Stebner Farms property. The utility improvements include a short extension of the water main, creating a loop out to Maple Grove Road, and then the extension of the sanitary sewer from Maple Grove Road south to it would be the outhouse building or the restroom facility between lots 4 and 5. Part of this, we would reconstruct the roadway into our city standard, which would include sidewalk on one side being the east side, the non-soccer field side, and we connect the trail to Maple Grove Road. We also would like to consider designing and constructing the utilities this year in an effort to get the site ready for a prospective developer that could break ground next year. And then we would have another plan set that prepared for the road in 2024. As part of the road project, we would improve the interface between the roadway and the drive aisles to the parking lots. In doing so, we would likely add curb and gutter and manage the connection between the road and the parking lot a little bit better, so it's not a free-for-all as it is now. So I think that's the bulk of the improvements that we're proposing, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions from council?
Would we want to put the sidewalk on the soccer field side? Would that be the main purpose of that, as people walking to and from the field? I don't know, just a thought.
That's a good question. It could go on either side. One of the main reasons that I was suggesting that it go on the east side I guess for two main reasons. One is the future development on the Stebner Farms parcel. And then second is there's not multiple lanes of the parking lot that you would have to cross.
Okay.
There would be at least 3 parking lot, drive lane crossings. So that's why I was considering putting it on the east side. And then to that point, we already have the trail that goes through the middle of the soccer complex. So somebody would have 2 opportunities to get into the park.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's another point. There's a big ditch between the road and the fields that drains into the stormwater pond on the north side. So by putting a sidewalk on that west side would impact that. We'd have to do something different with the drainage as well.
Thank you. Are there any public comments on this proposed project? If so, please start out with your name and address. If you're in the room, please approach the podium. If you're online, please state your name and address online.
Bryce Hanson, I'm with Hermantown Soccer. Our only concern is traffic flow in and out. If we improve that, improve that road with potential future developments in the back as well. There are times where that intersection at 5:30, everybody's on Maple Grove. And it's already a tough intersection to get in and out of. So just some consideration of how you're going to amend that intersection between a new road parcel and Maple Grove as it exists now. Thank you.
Thank you. Is that any part of the consideration in these plans, Mr. Salo?
Mr. Salo?
I'm going to say Mr. Boyle. Sorry. Different. It's been a few years.
So, Mayor, yes, this is one of the things that we'll be discussing tomorrow at Foursquare. I have 3 different options that we're considering, but we do know that traffic can get backed up at the intersection. The improvements that we're planning are a bigger dedicated right turn lane. So as you're northbound, you take the right towards Sam's Club to provide better stacking there. But that's a county road, and we've discussed this with the county as far back as 2018 when we did the sewer pipe that might be developed, and there's no consideration for a traffic signal or a roundabout. We want to that interface wants to be at either a new Westburg Road or Lowburg south of Maple Grove. So when Stebner Farms gets completely developed, we see another network of roads that'll connect to the park to, help alleviate all the congestion going out at that one point.
But would the widening and the turn lanes of the road exiting the park ease some congestion? Another $5.
So
are you talking about turn lanes and widening exiting also? Yes. So it might ease some of that backup in the park.
The only real opportunity that we have as on the Stebner Park Drive that we're referring to it today is the adding more stacking on the roadway so people can have the free right going out and not backing up people that want to make the left to go westbound.
Thank you. Are there any more public comments on this project? If so, please step forward to the podium and state your name and address. Is there any public discussion, any member of the public that wishes to comment on this proposed project? With that, we will close the public hearing. and move to resolution 2023-122. Resolution ordering improvement and directing preparation of final plans and specifications for 2023 Sewer Improvement District number 544, Stebner Park Improvement District, Sewer, Water, and Road. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Counselor Geisler. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Counselor LeBlanc. Any counselors have any questions before we move on? Roll call, please.
Counselor Jelly,
Aye.
Counselor LeBlanc,
Aye.
Counselor Jones,
Aye.
Counselor Geisler,
Aye.
Mayor Boucher,
Aye. Next is resolution 2023-123, resolution accepting a proposal for engineering services with a total not to exceed contract amount of $145,785 with Northland Consulting Engineers. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Counselor Jelly. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Counselor Jones. Roll call, please.
Counselor Jones,
Aye.
Counselor Geisler,
Aye.
Counselor Jelly,
Aye.
Counselor LeBlanc,
Aye.
Mayor Boucher,
Aye. And that concludes that. Next, we have communications that are listed, nothing are highlighted. There are no presentations this evening, and the next item is number 8, public discussion. This is the time for individuals to address the council about an item not on the agenda. The time limit is 3 minutes per person. If anyone wishes to address the council, if you're in chambers, step forward to the podium and state your name and address. If you're online, please chime in with your name and address. Is there anyone that wishes to address the council at this time under general public discussion? Is there anyone that wishes to speak to the council under public discussion? One last opportunity for public discussion this evening. This is for items not on the agenda. Please state your name and address for the record. With that, we will close public discussion. Motions. Motion to approve or deny the massage establishment license application for the following, effective immediately through December 31st, 2023. Northern Lotus Massage Therapy LLC at 5338 Rose Road. Upon completion of a successful background check and license fees received. Do we have a motion? Motion by Counselor Geisler. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Counselor Jones. Mr. Mulder.
This is a new person who wanted to create a massage therapist establishment on Rose Road. So this is the process that we would use.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from council? Roll call, please. Oh, public discussion. Let's give the public a chance to chime in. Is there any public input on this motion? We'll have a second call for public input. And a final call for public input on this motion. I think the Thunder had something to say. Roll call, please.
Counselor LeBlanc,
Aye.
Counselor Jones,
Aye.
Counselor Geisler,
Aye.
Counselor Jelly,
Aye.
Mayor Boucher,
Aye. Next is a motion to approve or deny the massage therapist license application for the following, effective immediately through December 31st, 2023. Heather Ray Lind, and the address is 5338 Rose Road. Address of operation has been changed from the first published agenda. This is the therapist that would be operating under the last motion. Completed application check, background check, and license fees have been received. Do we have a motion?
Make a motion to approve.
Motion by Counselor Jones. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
second by Counselor Geisler. Mr. Mulder?
So, in these situations, you approve the application for both the establishment and the therapist. So this is the therapist that would be working at this establishment.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from council? Is there any public input on this resolution or this motion? Second opportunity for public input. Is there anyone that wishes to speak to this matter? Roll call, please.
Counselor Geisler,
Aye.
Counselor Jelly,
Aye.
Counselor LeBlanc,
Aye.
Counselor Jones,
Aye.
Mayor Boucher.
Aye. Next is the consent agenda, which includes the minutes, approval or correction of the August 21st, 2023 City Council continuation minutes, and accounts payable in the amount of $643,936.96. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Counselor Jelly. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Counselor LeBlanc. Roll call, please.
Counselor Jelly,
Aye.
Counselor LeBlanc,
Aye.
Counselor Jones,
Aye.
Counselor Geisler,
Aye.
Mayor Boucher.
Aye. Next, we have an ordinance 2023-06, an ordinance amending Chapter 300 smoking policy. This is the first reading. There will be no vote on this or public input at this time. Do we have a short explanation from our city attorney?
Certainly. This is an ordinance that came into play after the state of Minnesota made some major changes to marijuana use in Minnesota. This does two things. First, it amends the city's smoking policy to prohibit the use of cannabinoid products, including vaping, within city vehicles and within public structures. The second thing that this ordinance does is it extends the prohibition against using liquor in city parks and recreation areas to include the use of cannabinoid products, marijuana products.
Thank you. And there will be an opportunity for public comment at the next council meeting when this matter is considered for the second reading and vote. Also, anyone who has a public interest in this could contact any one of us or write to the city clerk before the next meeting. There is no vote on that. Next is resolutions. Resolution 2023-124, joint resolution of intent to upgrade the Hermantown Ice Arena between Independent School District number 700 and the city of Hermantown. Do we have a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Counselor LeBlanc, second by Counselor Geisler. And Mr. Mulder?
The purpose of this resolution is to have it be approved by both the city council and the school board. And the intent here is to kind of lay out a basic framework for how we will work together to make sure that this ice arena gets built on school property.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from council? I believe this is a good start at setting that framework so that the specifics can be dealt with later, and any specific items will be voted on by both the school district and the council at a later date. Is there any public input on this resolution? Is there any public input on resolution 2023-124? Final opportunity for public input on this resolution. Roll call, please.
Counselor Jelly,
Aye.
Counselor LeBlanc,
Aye.
Counselor Jones,
Aye.
Counselor Geisler,
Aye.
Mayor Boucher.
Aye. Next is resolution 2023-125. Resolution approving pay request number 2 for sewer improvement district number 451 to Vite in the amount of $265,833.66. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Counselor Jelly. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Counselor Jones. Mr. Mulder?
So this is the pay application for the work that's been done in the last month on the Okerstrom Road sewer project.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from council? I have one question from our engineer. Are we still on schedule for completion this year?
Yes, Mayor, we are on schedule. So at our construction meeting this morning, they'll finish the utilities in the next day or two, and then Monday they'll start the reconstruction of the roadway, and likely before the end of September, we'll see curb and gutter and paving in early October.
Thank you. Any other questions from council? Is there any public comment on this resolution? Or any public comment on resolution 2023-125? Last opportunity for public comment on this resolution. Hearing none, I would ask for a roll call.
Counselor Jones,
Aye.
Counselor Geisler,
Aye.
Counselor Jelly,
Aye.
Counselor LeBlanc,
Aye.
Mayor Boucher.
Aye. Resolution 2023-126. Resolution approving an extended lease agreement with the Arrowhead Builders Association. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Counselor Jelly. Is there a second? Second by Counselor Geisler. Mr. Mulder?
The Arrowhead Builders have been renting about just under 2,500 square feet at the old city hall since back to 2010. This year, we were renewing all of the leases and we're upgrading those so that they'll all be on kind of the same dollar per square foot basis. So we're increasing their rent. Because they're currently at $5.45 a square foot, we didn't want to go up to $10 all in 1 year. So we're up in them to $7.68 beginning July 1 of this year and $10 beginning on July 1, 2024.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from councilors? Hearing none, we'll open this up to public comment. Does anyone wish to comment on this resolution? Are there any public comments on the resolution for the lease agreement with Arrowhead Builders Association? This will be the last opportunity for public comment on this resolution. Roll call, please.
Counselor Geisler,
Aye.
Counselor Jelly,
Aye.
Counselor LeBlanc,
Aye.
Counselor Jones,
Aye.
Mayor Boucher.
Aye. Next is resolution 2023-127. Resolution approving cooperative agreement with St. Louis County, project number CP 0000477573, crack sealing project on various paved roads in the trails and neighborhood within the city of Hermantown corporate limits. Do you have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Counselor Jones. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Counselor Jelly. Mr. Muller?
So we're going to work with the county to do the work in the trails and neighborhood, but also the Greystone neighborhood, both of those just off of Stebner Road. What we do in this case is they go out for bid for the work and then we just pay for our share of it. But they go out for, we get kind of involved in a larger purchasing package if it was just ourselves.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from council? I think it's great that we can get in on the county's bid prices with this. Helps us out a lot. Anything else from council? Is there any public input on this resolution? Any public input on resolution 2023-128? And we will have a last opportunity for public input on this resolution. If anyone wishes to comment, please state your name and address for the record. Roll call, please.
Counselor LeBlanc,
Aye.
Counselor Jones,
Aye.
Counselor Geisler,
Aye.
Counselor Jelly,
Aye.
Mayor Boucher,
Aye. Resolution 2023-128. Resolution approving final plans and specifications and ordering advertisement for bids for Hermantown City Hall attic repairs. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Counselor Geisler. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Counselor Jones. Mr. Muller, could you explain this?
Sure. So we have been talking for a number of months about improving the attic airflow, insulation, and all of that to prevent some of the ice dams that we've seen on the roof in the past, particularly after we've redone the shingles. So Braun prepared this plan and spec. It'll be advertised next week on the 13th. We'll open bids on the 20th, and the city council will hopefully make an award on October 2nd, with the idea that all of this work will get done this fall yet in order to prevent some of the ice dams that we've seen on this building in the past.
Thank you. Do we have any questions or comments from council? I appreciate this work finally getting done. It's been a problem for years with ice buildup in the winter. Is there any public input on resolution 2023-128? Is there any public input on this resolution? If anyone from the public wishes to comment on this resolution, please state your name and address. Roll call, please.
Counselor LeBlanc,
Aye.
Counselor Jones,
Aye.
Counselor Geisler,
Aye.
Counselor Jelly,
Aye.
Mayor Boucher,
Aye. Next is resolution 2023-129. Resolution approving memorandum of understanding and authorizing and directing mayor and city clerk to execute and deliver MOU with Law Enforcement Labor Services Local 47. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Counselor Jelly. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Counselor Jones. Mr. Mulder, could we get an explanation?
Sure. Given the potential loss of 2 of our police officers this fall through being hired by other agencies that are being paid more, and concerned that that would cause us considerable more overtime because of minimum staffing levels. The city council talked about the possibility of a recruitment and retention bonus in closed session last meeting 2 weeks ago. Based upon that discussion, we drafted a memorandum of understanding with the union because it does affect wages. They did sign off on it, and so we're presenting that to you tonight. This is being funded by the public safety dollars that the city will receive from the state of Minnesota. The city is receiving in excess of $400,000. This will be used. Part of that will be used to fund this.
Thank you. Do we have any questions or comments from council? Is there any public input on this resolution? If anyone wishes to speak to this resolution, please state your name and address. Is there any public comment on resolution 2023-129? This will be the last opportunity for public input on this resolution. If anyone wishes to comment, please state your name and address. Roll call, please.
Counselor Jelly,
Aye.
Counselor LeBlanc,
Aye.
Counselor Jones,
Aye.
Counselor Geisler,
Aye.
Mayor Boucher,
Aye. Next is a motion to recess. Do we have a motion?
Move to recess.
Second.
Motion by Counselor Jones, second by Counselor Geisler. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.